No, I've still yet to get my XLR cord back, but when I do, we are definitely going to get rid of this microphone. Welcome, everybody, to another edition, another episode, another Friday. Thank goodness, thank Godness. It is indeed Friday, and I've got my clappy thing back. I'm ready for another episode myself of. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We got to do the intro. If this is the first time that you guys are watching this, if this is the first time you've had the opportunity to check into one of my live streams, the best, most powerful, and valuable thing that you can do to support the stream, to support the live chat, is of course share it out. So if you're watching this today, if you just happen to catch this for the first time, thank you for being here. Please share it out. So this is the part of the night where we take a moment to celebrate our gift. It is Friday to continue our musical journey tonight, and each weekday at 7 p.m. on another episode of. But if this is your first time watching, today and each weekday we are learning, chatting, and examining the top industry stories, news, and technology, social media. Starting the day in your own life can be an adventure in itself. So I really appreciate you coming and spending your Friday here with me. Welcome to William versus the World. This is the only, and I do mean it, this is the only music news show presented by a local band. It's about the music industry. It's streamed each day, presented to you by a local band. But not just by any local band, it's a local band that you guys all can recognize and love. It's us here at the Sepsis page. We are a band page. I'm the guitar player for the band. I compose, and I also help. I help the other parts of the band, coordinate all their creative processes on stage. Of course, joining me is the wonderful and lovely Hot Sauce and Zachy B, Salvatore Pan, and my singer, who's hopefully in the chat, Miss Melissa Wolf. We are a hard rock, heavy metal band from Manchester, New Hampshire. So that's a little bit about us. This is an interactive live stream and chat where we together, myself and you, hopefully, we read, we dive deep, we cross reference, we compare notes. That's why I have an article on the screen. We put the articles and we put the news on the screen so we can compare and utilize the full power of the internet each day to discover and examine unlocking the music industry for independent and DIY musicians all over the world. Buckle up each day for a stern look at the real music industry, unrecognizable music industry that is led by big tech, litigators, and shareholders. Get out your iPads, your notebooks, your iPhones, and anything that you can use to follow along because it's time for another episode of. I can't do my thing because I don't have the. William versus the World. I don't got my mixer with me. I just realized I can't turn the thing up and go, ah. So that's all said and done. But I did want to stop before we get into anything. I wanted to light this joint here and wish my good friend Mr. Hans a very happy birthday from us here at the Sepsis Camp. Happy birthday to our infectiously annoying, you like that? Infectious sepsis. Our infectiously annoying videographer, Mr. Hans, Mr. ICG Hans Smith himself. Happy birthday, Hans. Joining us also in the chat is ICG Joss, another sepsis affiliate. Thanks for coming to hang out, my brother. So, what do you guys think about? I mean, obviously, I got to do it, right? It's not like I want to do it, but I got to do it. Hold on. Everyone online is talking about the Linkin Park thing. Do you guys know about this yet? Do you guys even care? Does anybody even care that Linkin Park has a new singer? I feel like the whole world cares, maybe more than they need to. Guys, did you know that Linkin Park has a brand new vocalist? And there's so much news surrounding this. I didn't realize they had an additional second band member. They had gained an additional band member. But you would never know it because there's already controversy surrounding the new singer. Can you believe it? The internet is just crazy with this sort of thing. So I just wanted to get you guys' ideas on it first. Have you guys heard any information on this? Do you guys care about the rumors? Is that not important to you guys? I know Sepsis has been in a lot of rumors and different stuff before, and I've found out that a lot of our authentic fans and people who really like our music don't give a shit so much about all the silliness and the rumors. Most people are just kind of waiting for new music to come out and a chance to see us live and support the band. But I do realize that hey, that's sometimes that's what people care about, right? Is the stories. They care about the authenticity. And it's not up to me to say why you guys can pick your favorites or have your bests. I'm just a musician. So I make music and then I cross my fingers and hope people like it, that sort of thing. But let's read about this Linkin Park thing, and you guys tell me if you care or not. Melissa, do you want to hear this? Oh, okay. Linkin Park's new singer, Emily Armstrong, on the pressure and passion of singing Chester Bennington's vocals. Quote, she says, "This is a very, very important band to this world." She looks like a good fit. Do you guys think that she's a good fit? I know a lot of times, people will say that rock and roll, a lot of times people will claim that rock and roll, and especially modern day hard rock and metal, many people would say that image is important. There are many people that would say that image is very important in terms of being successful in modern day rock and roll. Do you agree? I think so far, I think Emily Armstrong definitely makes the cut. I think Emily makes the cut as far as image. What do you guys think? Emily Armstrong is taking the bitter with the sweet as she steps into her new role at Linkin Park, co-vocalist amid the band's surprise comeback. I don't know how much of a surprise it was. They were announcing a lot of it the whole time. While speaking to Billboard, Jason Lipschutz about the rock group's secret return, the Dead Sarah co-founder opened up about both the excitement she feels as well as the emotions that come with filling in for Chester Bennington, whose death in 2017 led Linkin Park to take a 7-year hiatus. "There is so much to this band," she's quoted on saying. "This is a very, very important band to the world," Armstrong said in Billboard's exclusive published Thursday, September issue. Quote, "I'm on cloud 9, but then it hits you that there's a lot of work to be done," she says. And then she's continued here, quote, "And going into these older songs by a singular voice that's beloved by so many people, it's like, how do I be myself in this, but also carry on the emotion and what he brought to the band. I think that she's at least thoughtful in saying that. Um, it's Chester's voice, and it's mine, but I want it to still feel the way I feel when I listen to the song, because that's what fans love, Armstrong added, and quote, there is a passion to it that I'm hoping I can fill. So, I mean, right off the bat, it looks like that she's not saying that she feels like she's replacing him. She hasn't said that she's really confident, even, I don't think, that she's accomplished that quite yet. What is this nonsense? So we'll move right along from that. What are you talking about? What? Okay. The interview arrived on the same day Linkin Park announced its grand return, with Armstrong on board as Mike Shinoda's new co-vocalist and Colin Britton signing on as drummer and co-producer. You don't hear a damn thing about him. There's so much about this lady. The band also has a new album, From Zero, arriving November 15th, and plans to embark on a major tour, starting with 6 arena shows this fall. That was quick. The group also spoke to Billboard about keeping their reunion under wraps leading up to the big announcement, wanting to make sure everything was done perfectly in respects to their late bandmate. Quote, part of the work under darkness was simply the fact that we didn't know how far we would get in our efforts, DJ visual director John Hahn said. We didn't want to set ourselves or anyone else up for disappointment if we weren't able to do it. This has been years of struggling to understand what it can and should be. And that's what they say. So, but that's not where it ends, everybody. I know if it was only that easy. There's also this whole bit here to Scientology and Danny Masterson. Are you guys familiar with that? I got to go get my coffee. Hold on, because I want to read. I want to read what Thomas said. I'm gonna go grab my coffee, and then I want to read what Thomas said. Thank you guys so much. So let's read from Thomas. Thomas said, she's not Chester Bennington. No. But Thomas goes on and said, she's not Chester Bennington, but I think he would want to keep his music band's legacy alive. That's one good take. Thomas says, I'm sure there's going to be some negative impact on the new singer, but give her a shot to see where she takes the band. Okay, so this is kind of, I mean, I had a similar take on this. I'm going to keep it real. And one of the things that I focused right in on was, let's face it, they're a new band again. So being a new band, okay, just being in a new band, it's going to take practice for that new band to hone their skills and get good together. I mean, I can't tell you throughout the 15 years, well, that's not true. It's been 14 or so, almost 14. Throughout the 14 years, I would like to say 15. But the better portion of 13 years, we've had new band members all the time, you know? And every time you change a band member, there is something different about the band. There's no question. And that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It just means that you're going to have to practice and hone your skills with that new member. Every time you have a new member to a band, you always add something new to it. They are a new band. And not to mention, let's not forget, they took a 7-year hiatus. They're going to have to spend some time, you know, retraining their ears, retraining their bodies, getting tour ready, and also retraining for a modern music industry. Melissa Songbird says, I heard the new Linkin Park song, and I happen to be a huge Linkin Park fan. I haven't heard her live yet. She means the singer. But I also love the vocals. I think she does a great job. You can hear a bit of the original Linkin Park sound mixed with a bit of something new, which is great to hear. I mean, I like what she said in the article, because there was nothing in the article where she said that she was trying to, let's make it clear. In the article, there was nothing that she said about trying to be Chester or trying to replace Chester or taking something away from Chester. In fact, it was quite the opposite. She actually questioned respectfully, you know, within time, would she be able to add the quality and value to the band in respects to not filling his shoes, but offering a future to Linkin Park and prioritizing the long-term fans and future of the band. Yeah, I think that, like, her being in the band now and singing new songs will undoubtedly encourage longevity for Linkin Park fans in the future. People who may never have had the chance or would be encouraged to listen to Linkin Park because of her and the new member. Because of all the talk in the town, people will be able to discover Linkin Park, some of them for the first time, therefore re-energizing and breathing new life into the band, longevity, and promoting a future to Linkin Park that it never would have hadn't she joined. A future to Linkin Park that never would have been. Future fans to Linkin Park that never would have been created hadn't she joined the band. And here's another thing. Because of all this investment in longevity. Fans that have never heard of Linkin Park before will now discover Linkin Park because of her and open up their ears, open up their hearts to Linkin Park's entire history and catalog. That's my prediction. All right, now let's get to the ugly shit. Because there's more. Linkin Park's new vocalist, Emily Armstrong, is coming under fire for ties to Scientology and sex offender Danny Masterson. Linkin Park's new vocalist, Emily Armstrong, is coming under fire for ties to Scientology and accused sex offender Danny Masterson. Let's check it out. It didn't take long for even the most casual of Linkin Park fans to find out some serious dirt on the band's new vocalist, Emily Armstrong. And unfortunately, it's worse than anyone could have possibly imagined. If you want to talk about the band that fumbled bag here, this certainly qualifies. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just reading this bullshit. Before we go any further, this is written by New Fury Media. Before everybody jumps on me for the commentary, I'm just reading this article. This article is from New Fury Media. If you don't like what they say, then don't follow along. If you'd like to follow along, this article is written by New Fury Media, and they're probably going to say something really mean. Okay. It appears the band did a poor job of vetting and scrutinizing the new vocalist, who reportedly has ties to both Scientology and convicted rapist Danny Masterson. Former At the Drive-In vocalist Cedric Bixler Savala made the original post in 2023. For Cedric, the situation is very personal, as members of Scientology harassed him and caused both himself and his loved ones great suffering. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh man, here we go. This looks good. The only thing, Emily Armstrong is a lifelong Scientologist, being born into the religion. She appeared in court to testify in defense of Danny Masterson, who was later convicted of felony rape. We do not know if she still is affiliated with the Church of Scientology and if the band has yet to release a statement. Of course they didn't, because if they did, we'd be right here talking about it. Musically, the reactions were mixed, but anyone with ties to either of these things is someone who's extremely problematic, says the article here, New Fury Media. Of course, I'm not saying that. I'm just reading the article. Right? All right. So there you have it. Here is Cedric Bixler Zavala. And he says, it's kind of blurry here, but I'll read it for you guys. Quote, I'm surprised none of you wrote a letter on Danny Masterson's behalf, since your corny-ass singer showed up to support him in the prelims. Remember, Emily? Remember how your fellow Scientologist goon squad surrounded one of the Jane Does when she was trying to leave the elevators? The court sheriffs had to escort her away from your awful cult. Remember when she did the purification rundown, Emily? Were you directed to the safe point because of what my wife knew? Why can't you shut your mouth during a detox program where people are going through some rough shit, but your corny ass is singing like an unsupervised child? Is it 'cause you're born into Scientologist that gets a pass? How do you reconcile, I'm not going to say this word, how do you reconcile with the hatred towards people found in teaching of the Dianetics book? I don't know what that is. Do your fans know about Danny Matheson? That was, Cedric Bixler. He must be like a band guy or something. I don't know. Neither the band nor Emily have made any kind of statements. And it's been just under 24 hours since she was revealed as Linkin Park's new vocalist. She must be crawling in her skin. Still, with this alleged story out on the open gaining steam on social media, here we are, it's apparent that there will have to be a statement made. Well, I mean, there doesn't have to be. What if they just ignored it? What would they do about it? Nothing. Why does it? There doesn't have to be a statement made. Like, this person's like, there has to be. No, there doesn't. She could tell everybody to go fuck off. She didn't rape somebody. She's not in court. She hasn't been convicted of a crime. She's not criminalized. She didn't commit a crime on anybody. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to. I know this author is trying to write smart, but that's not true. She doesn't have to do anything. She's not on parole or something. You know what I mean? Whether that happens sooner than later is anyone's guess at this point. And it's anyone's guess because they don't have to. So why they said that they had to is weird. But judging just by the reactions on social media, it's clear that they'll have to say something. It's not clear. And judging by what social media reactions, the one here or the one on your page? See, because it depends on where you go. You know, if you go to certain places, they're mad at her. If you go to other places, they're not. So they're saying here that it's clear that Linkin Park will have to say something, but I don't think they do. If I was them, I might not say something, or I might have my lawyers or my entertainment lawyers. I might meet with them and have their recommendation, but I wouldn't listen to whoever the fuck this person is. Anyhow, the news is especially troubling when you consider that the band's late vocalist Chester Bennington was both a victim of abuse. You know, a lot of us are, so I don't know why they're zeroing in on this. She didn't do anything to Chester. So I see what the article is doing here. I don't like it. This is why we read together. So the article is trying to kind of paint a nasty little image here. There's nothing related to what she was doing, whether or not she supported somebody in court or she was there to testify on behalf of somebody may not be something that all of you here understand. People get called into court by order. People get called into court by subpoena. People get called into court for a lot of different reasons. Because a heavy metal blogger or a heavy metal journalist, has a version of that, because a heavy metal journalist has an interpretation that she was supporting a sex offender in court isn't necessarily accurate, because courts, DA offices, prosecutions, judges, they can subpoena certain people to court. So I'm not defending her, but I'm just telling you the way that it actually works in court. If she was spending her time in court and she was there participating in the court proceedings, there is a strong chance that she has to be there by order. And I'm not saying that that is the case. I'm not defending her, as far as like judicially. I'm not sure exactly what role she played in. But I know how that can be misunderstood really easily on social media, because I understand what the image of the next. I understand what the image and the interpretation is supposed to be in the next paragraph, and I'm going to try to make more sense of it for you. The news is especially troubling, that's what it says here, when you consider that the band's late vocalist Chester Bennington was a victim of both sexual abuse and abuse growing up, like many of us were in the 80s and 90s, myself, and that's one of the reasons why us here at the page, we are very strong advocates speaking up against any kind of abuse. But let's not get out of control here. I don't think because this young lady, the narrative is that this young lady went to court to support a convicted rapist, or this lady went to court prior to the conviction to speak on behalf or defend what later was to become a convicted rapist and sexual abuser. Prior to her being there, that, of course, was not determined. So I'm just explaining that to you. You may not like that, but if she went to court, regardless if she was speaking on behalf of or otherwise, it means that she was going to court prior to there being a conviction, a determination whether or not there was fact-finding evidence that Danny Masterson was indeed a rapist. And look, I guess he was. I'm sure she's not excited about that now. So, if she was there on his behalf, she was wrong. Now, does that make her a criminal? No, that just makes her wrong. That just makes her a young person, and she thought that that was her buddy, and she was wrong. Hypotheticals. A band this size, presumably with almost all the resources you could possibly imagine, apparently didn't scrutinize Emily Armstrong enough. That's an opinion. Even worse, Linkin Park music always has provided a beacon of hope to those who are bullied or generally dealing with situations when they've been abused or neglected. Again, Emily is not charged, never has been, and has never been convicted in any kind of crime. So it's weird why it's weird. It's weird why we continue to use English when we talk about Emily Armstrong in terms of her being a criminal. There might be some murky past. There might be, an unobservable past that I don't know who needs to get to the bottom of it. You? I mean, I think all you need to do is decide whether or not you like their music, right? But there may be a murky past. Who gives a shit? We all have a murky past, and we all have made really stupid decisions. And while I'm not defending her, it's reason to believe that maybe it's a possibility that she made some bad decisions before, and she's come a long way now. And now she's a grown woman. Did that ever occur to you? I don't know. You guys let me know. We'll do a couple more of these. Oh, that looks good, Melissa. That's killer. I'm into it. That looks pretty sweet. Looks great. Are those up already? So apparently there's going to be a new Swarmy Fest shirt, which is kind of nice. Yeah, Thomas, I felt the same way. I was like, "Oh my God, that was that's why Thomas that's why I put the articles up so we can read them together. I don't read these like I don't read these like, it's freaking blabbermouth. To me, blabbermouth, metal injection, what was that? Newfound media, metal sucks. All of these ones here are, to me, they're kind of like rumor mill, telephone game, talk behind your back, TMZ, he said, she said bullshit. You know, I don't really take anything that metal injection or blabbermouth, anything that they have to say. They pretty much all copy each other and then paste the same type of pollution and garbage all over the internet. But I don't normally. It's weird. I don't normally read from these ones like metal sucks and all that. I normally don't really get into it. Normally, we're covering like educational stuff. But I saw the Lincoln Park stuff today and I got carried away. Let's do some educational because that's enough to make you throw up in it. So this is something from Disc Makers. If you guys don't know who Disc Makers are, they are a direct to consumer. Um, they're a physical media, like a physical media manufacturer. They make CDs, they make vinyl, um, like eco kits and stuff like that. If you're in a band and you want to make old school CDs and stuff like that, you should check them out. I should check out this joint. Hey, Chad, what up? I know they were jumping on her. That was crazy. I think that was overboard. That's nice. So yeah. So this is kind of cool one. Just something for us to all to think about. But this is for you indie artists out there. If you know an indie artist, tag this motherfucker. Follow along with me on Disc Makers. It's their blog. All right. Why won't indie artists market themselves? Why is it that independent artists won't invest any money in marketing their fucking music themselves? Why? And why is it that artists complain when they don't get any streams or make any money? Here is the irony of today's music business. Recording great music and getting it out in front of a worldwide audience is actually the easy part, so the article says. Thanks to high quality digital tools, project studios, and even online music creation sites like BandLab, it's more affordable than ever to record great sounding master. I think that I'm not gonna jump on these guys, but anytime they start saying something is easy in the music industry, I think it's wise to be skeptical. There's no easy way to get your music out in front of people. On internet, nothing. Um, there is also all sorts of songwriting coaches out there with free content on YouTube. It's true that will help you craft a better song. Powerful lyric writing tools like Master Writer are available for peanuts. Worldwide distribution to streaming platforms can be yours for just $10. In other words, the things that were once hard and expensive, creating and recording and getting access to distribution, are easy and affordable today. But still, independent artists may make marketing mistakes. So, how do you get noticed? What's hard today is getting noticed and building the buzz. There are 100,000 tracks uploaded to Spotify every fucking second. That means that your new single gets to compete against 700,000 new weekly tracks, theoretically, to get noticed on Friday's Release Radar playlist. None of you have been on that before. And when you're releasing music as a new or unknown artist, it can be challenging to set yourself apart. Well, that's true when everybody sounds like each other, and when there's a limited amount of successful people at the top, the construct and the majority of losers at the bottom only have a limited amount of people at the top that they can learn from. Where artists need to spend most of their money and time today might just be on marketing and promotion. Maybe. This whole concept became really striking to me a couple years back. The disc maker launched a simple, affordable artist marketing service called Ads for Artists. You may remember it. I don't. This is their own thing. For under $100, they would create an ad that linked to the artist's website, Spotify profile, Bandcamp, etc., sell concert tickets. We would create a target audience, and then the artist would buy online advertising on Facebook, Instagram, Google, and then they would do the networking. The price would be set by the artist. It was, if the author says so themselves, a great service, affordable, simple, and then it flopped. Haha, code, insert, name, CTA, distribution. Artists spend money on equipment. Why not marketing? In our experience, artists were just not willing to spend the money on marketing. So after trying unsuccessfully for a couple of years to grow the service, we decided to just shut it down and refocus our attention on making top quality vinyl records and affordable CDs, which I think is a great idea for them. So why will artists spend a few grand on guitar? In fact, on their third guitar and third or fifth and 10 grand on a recording, plus another 1,000 on audio mastering and album design, some CDs, a digital distribution, but they won't even spend $500 on promoting the album that just cost them thousands to record. My theory is this: artists will spend the time and money they feel they need to spend, but not the time and money that they need to spend if it doesn't feel good. Let's back it up. Artists will spend the money that they feel they need to spend. The money they feel they need to spend, but not the money that they need to spend if it doesn't feel good. Artists will spend the money they feel they need to spend and never spend the money they need to spend, unless, of course, it feels good. Back in the day, the minimum price to get your music out on the market was $3,000. I remember that. That's what 1,000 vinyl records cost back then. So artists did what it took. They saved up, worked a second job, borrowed the money, or robbed a McDonald's. Just kidding. To come up with the cash because they needed to spend that. Over time, what you needed to spend to get your music out into the market dropped. First to 1,000 to make CDs, and then just 10 for digital distribution. So artists' willingness to spend dropped. I mean, you guys got to remember this article is written by a direct-to-consumer company, so this is going to be their take, you know what I mean? And spending anything more than $10 to get your music out became something so many artists didn't want to do. I feel like what they're saying. I also feel like there's a little bit of a tunnel vision here because of what the author does for work. Let's not get mad at them, though. Let's not be mad at them. Trust me on this, he says. Our entry price for 100 CD jackets is just $140 today. That's $140 can let the artist make up $1,000 by selling them for 10 apiece. And many artists still don't want to invest the money. We do. And you know what's really crazy is we sell a lot of CDs, actually. I can't wait till we have more collections because CDs actually do work out well for our band. I don't know, it's weird. Artists will spend the least amount they feel they need to spend. And clearly, artists don't feel they need to spend on promotion and marketing when that is probably the thing they need to spend the most on if they want to see any success from their music. Reaching your goals as a musician. If we have a goal, we have to do things that are not fun in order to get there. If you want to make it with your music, you've got to treat it like a job, even after your day job. And a job is not always fun, but it is rewarding. So how much should you be spending on marketing? He asked his friend Ben Calhoun about this. He works for a company that manages big artists like Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Hoodly Boodly Woodly Doo. So he knows a thing or two about big artists. I don't like when they do that because it's like we're not talking about Nicki Minaj. We're talking about William Savant, God damn it. He told me that his guideline is that you should spend the same on promotion and marketing that you spend on creating the album. That's kind of right on par. So what did it cost you for recording, mixing, and mastering, designing CDs and distribution? Spend that exact amount on your marketing and music building success. Maybe, guys, maybe. Let's not just fly off the handle here. Sounds like a lot of money. Probably, that's true, and it probably is. Music listeners don't know you right now, so you need to invest in getting your music in front of unsuspected listeners. I realize that there are budget realities. There were so many disc maker customers who wouldn't even spend $400 on ads for campaigns. How many artists don't even spend $25 to boost their social posts about their new album? That's true. I never really thought of it that way. They just spend $0, and that's just about spending. Part of it is money, but there is a lot of marketing and promo work that you can do that is free or almost free. But that is an operative world where there is work. It takes time to learn to use the tools and set up campaigns, create posts, and track results. I encourage you, this is what the artist says, I encourage you to take what I have written. I encourage you to take what I have written to heart so that you can be more successful in the future than you are today. And don't forget that physical media is an important tool for marketing music. I agree. There you have it, guys. If you guys like their blog, all you have to do is sign up for the newsletter, and it's pretty cool. I mean, we look at a lot of different sources like Digital Music News, Music Business Worldwide, Music Ally, sometimes a Discmaker blog. But stay in the know, you guys. Don't just wait for me to come and read you guys' stories. You guys can look up this stuff too, or be encouraged to follow along with me when you want to. Guys, that's it for me today. I'm going to take off. Tonight is Immaculate Connection Gaming, and it's also our friend Hans's birthday today. So I'm going to go take off. We're going to go make some cake, roll some trees, and get ready for game night on Immaculate Connection Gaming. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Chad, Thomas, Sean, and everybody else. I appreciate you, Josh. See me tomorrow, or not tomorrow at all, actually. See me on Monday for another episode of Willie vs. the World!